that you're doing well. And we are going to talk about, is your intuition working or not working today? I think this is the big question that so many people have. And I wanted to go live to address it. So first and foremost, if you're joining us live, I'd love to know. And if you're watching the replay, I'd love for you to comment #replay. And I know that one of the things I wanted to share is no matter if you feel like your intuition is working or not working, I'd love for you to just look around, because spirit really communicates with you in so many different shapes, signs, and fashion. And so I was on a walk today, and it was so beautiful because when I was walking, we had like 4 little rabbits that weren't even scared of us. They just didn't move. They were just still chomping away. They weren't in like the freeze mode. And so for me, I know that's just such a beautiful sign of abundance that they're there. And it's nice because sometimes when you're asking a question, your spirit guides sometimes answer in a tangible way. But with that being said, I want to talk more about your intuition and the ways that it feels like it's blocked. Like, is it blocked or not? So let's get into it. First and foremost, if you're brand new, my name is Whitney McNeil. I'm a certified medium and spiritual mentor, and my mission is to help spiritual and ambitious souls, which means you, because you're watching, really tap into their own intuitive abilities, connect to their spirit guides, and live their life purpose abundantly. Yes, I truly feel like we are all here. We're born with these abilities, and it's just a matter of tapping into them. We have this internal compass, and we have our navigators, which are our spirit guides, that help us and say, hey, say yes to this. Hey, let's move over here. It's just really starting to learn how your intuitive messages truly comes in for you. So I want to kind of really get into, well, is it working? Is it not working? So let's talk about it. First, if you feel like your intuition is not working, I do hope that you join our free intuition and abundance challenge. And so what is that? Well, we're going to spend 5 days together, and it's a free training every day that I'm going to be going live to help you remove limiting beliefs, to connect you with your spirit guides, to talk about the ways that you get your intuitive message. And it's such a great time of abundance as well, where we connect. There's fun prizes. We do this at 1 to 2 times a year. So I hope that you decide to join. And so you can join at messengerspirit.com/more. It starts on Monday next week. So I hope to see you there. So with our intuition, one of the things I'm going to be talking about next week is how you get your messages, because the way you get your messages may look different than your friend or your coworker or your family or me. You might be hearing how I get my messages and think, well, I don't get my messages the way Whitney does, so I must be doing something wrong. Rest assured that we all get our messages very differently. We are unique creatures built with different energy systems. And so understanding that the way it shows up for you, you may not be perceiving that it's actually intuitive. And so we're going to dive deep into those 4 different types in our intuition and abundance week happening next week. So messengerspirit.com/more. But let's say that you heard from spirit, or you saw, or you felt, or you knew a certain situation or a certain outcome that your spirit guides are going to be giving you, and it just felt like it didn't work out. What happens then? What happens if you feel like, I can't trust my intuition because what spirit told me was going to happen didn't happen? So let's talk about that. One, understanding that it can still happen. It's just not necessarily in the timeline that you thought. So one of my examples that I share is a couple years ago. It's actually been more than a couple now. But my husband had a potential contract with a company that he was, let's say, submitting a proposal for. And so we tuned in to spirit, and it felt like he was going to get it, and he didn't get it. And he's like, what is going on? I thought I was going to get this and I didn't get it. I don't understand. Like, what's happened? Well, it turns out like 2.5 years later, he got it. It was just the timeline. Another example is, I know someone that was going to buy a house, and they're like, you're going to get this house. And it kept going into, other people were submitting offers. And so they would be like, gosh, I just thought we were going to get the house. And then the pending offer, it's like it never closed. So then the next person came in. They're like, I guess we're not going to get it. Like, we're not next in line. And then that went through. They finally got the house. So knowing that we are needing to detach from the timeline, and also understanding that sometimes Spirit has different plans. So sometimes if we're asking for a specific outcome, or we think that something's going to work out, like let's say that we say we want a successful XYZ, whatever that is. Well, our definition of what success looks like might be different than what your higher self's definition of success is. And so even though you think something didn't work out, Spirit's like, no, it did work out because it's still successful because of XYZ lesson. And then it's like hindsight 2020, you look back and go, oh yeah, I'm so glad that it didn't work out the way I thought, because it worked out so much better. And so for an example, let's say that you really are applying for a job, or you really want to do this new package, this new product. You've got this new product or something of that sort in your business. And you're like, I really want XYZ results from this. Or perhaps that you want to really work with this client and you're thinking, okay, this is going to work out. And then it doesn't work out. And Spirit's like, well, no, we told you it's going to work out just fine. Well, one, you've got to be really clear and intentional, because if you're like, hey, I want this to work out, your spirit guides are like, we did work it out, because you're not supposed to work with that client. But also a lot of times you'll get this, wait a minute, I thought it was going to be this. And then Spirit gives you a better opportunity when the door's shut to the one that you thought was going to work out. So Spirit's like, it is working out. We just didn't say it was going to work out with this person. And so the next day you get a better offer, or you get this other job, or you have a better client that wants to pay you even more. So understanding that it's not necessarily the way that our belief systems say it's going to be, Spirit always knows better. And when you listen to the nudges and the thoughts and the feelings and whatever you're hearing or seeing from Spirit, knowing that the more that you say yes and the more that you move forward in that path, the more that Spirit has this plan for you that just it's not unfolded quite yet. And so trusting is key. And knowing that sometimes we have to trust on a smaller scale before we trust on a larger scale, because that's our ego. But I always recommend to just trust, period. But understanding that sometimes it's like, I need a little inch before I can go the mile. So hopefully that gives you some insight. Know that your intuition is working for you. Our spirit guides are there. The third thing I want to say is, with your intuition working for you, you need to make sure your mind's clear, because sometimes our ego wants to control it and tell us an answer when it's not our intuition, it's the answer that we want to hear. So we'll talk about that next week as well. So 1, you need to really look at your intuitive type. 2, know that things are always working out for you when you're listening to your guides. It just might not be what you're thinking. 3, we need to make sure that our ego is out the door and that our mind is clear. So when we're getting the answers, we're truly getting answers from our intuition and not something our mind's making up. All right. So I hope to see you inside of our free 5-day challenge. It is our Intuition and Abundance Week. We're celebrating abundance, and hope to see you sign up, messengerspirit.com/more. All right. I'll check in with you later this week. Bye.